This is a video on how to write an equation in point-slope form. The general point-slope form equation is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. M is the slope. So we already have our slope, so we can take that 3/5 and just replace or substitute 3/5 for m. Now, a lot of the times what's going to happen is the x and the y from the general form of the equation will remain. And then we can take our x value from our point and plug it in for x1. So it's x minus x1, and x1 becomes 8, so we get x minus 8 inside the parentheses. And then the minus 5 from the point, or the negative 5 from the point, is going to go into the y1. And what we will have is a minus a negative 5. But since it's minus a negative, we can write that as plus 5. And we're done. That is the answer for that first example. Here's a situation when we have 2 points. We have to do a little bit of work. We have to find the slope. So if we start at 11 and go to 13 for our y values, that is a rise of 2. If we start at 3 and go to negative 9, that is a run of negative 12. So my slope is negative 1/6 if I reduce that. I'm going to use that slope. And I have a choice to make. I could use 3 and 11, or I could use negative 9 and 13. And it doesn't matter which one I use. I just have to make sure that if I use one point, I use both coordinates from that same point. So for example, 3 takes the place of x1, and 11 takes the place of y1. Or I could use y minus 13 equals negative 1/6 times x minus a negative 9, so I'm going to put it as plus 9. These two equations, although they look different, are exactly the same line when graphed. If we were to convert them to slope-intercept form, we would end up with the same slope and the same y-intercept. We'll talk about that in a different video. Here is a graph. Now I have 3 points that I can clearly find at integer values. So I could use those 3 points to find that the slope is down 2, right 3. Down 2, right 3, up 2, left 3, up 2, left 3, or even up 4, left 6, down 4, right 6. Any way I do that, I should get a slope of negative 2/3. And just like the previous problem, I can use any of those 3 points, it doesn't matter which one, to come up with the equation. I'm going to choose the point 2, 1 to write my equation. Again, the x1 value becomes 2, the y1 value becomes 1, and my equation is y minus 1 equals negative 2/3 parentheses x.